I'm Randi B, and I am on a mission to foster real talk about subjects that matter to us. Who is us? It's you. It's me. It's all Black folks. We need and deserve time for truthing, time to share our thoughts and hear those of others. Time to learn, listen, vent, trash talk, unite. Time to be unapologetically us. We are one family, but with different backgrounds and perspectives, which lends itself to lively discussions. Here, our truths matter. Family, it's time for a conversation. This is Truthing with Randi B. My people, thank you for being here today for some Truthing, where we just show our diverse opinions and just bond. Let's get it started. We ain't gotta waste no time. I looked through the deck of Truthing cards, and this is the card I picked. So, should Black people stop using the N-word?
Man, that's a heavy one to be the first question. You know what I mean?
It's the first and only question.
It depends on what our goal is. If our goal is for the world to respect us more, I think we should stop using the N-word. Because they look at it like, so wait, y'all don't want us to say this, but y'all call each other niggas all day long. And the world looks at it like, man, we can't even take them too serious because they want something that they're not willing to reciprocate in terms of how they even address one another and respect their own selves. So it depends on what we want. Do we really want the world to take us more serious and to respect us more? I don't think we do. I think we like playing the victim. I think we like, making a lot of hoopla behind feeling played and disrespected, but we turn around and kill ourselves. We turn around and disrespect our own women. We turn around and make music that glorifies selling dope, murder, and sleeping with your baby mama. That type of stuff. That gets you platinum in hip hop. And we the ones who support that music. So I personally feel like we don't really want better. So because we don't want better in that realm, we might as well just keep using the word and let people keep disrespecting us.
Well, my brother, you done said a lot right there. I'm gonna let someone of y'all comment before I do, because I got things on my mind to say. Anyone want to jump in there?
Sometimes people just say it as a word or phrase or whatever, but does it hurt? And sometimes in certain people's eyes it hurts, but in other people, like, you're Black. We grew up with that. It ain't really phasing us. It depends on how you say it or who says it to you. Does it hurt? But 9 times out of 10, we grew up.
So let me ask you this. So when you say it sometimes, is it said to you as a term of endearment and affection, or as a term to put people down? Like when you use the word nigger, are you saying it as a term of affection and endearment or to put somebody down?
Yeah, depending on the conversation, depending on the person. Because you could be like, that's my nigga.
Right.
Or, my nigga. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? That nigga.
Right.
It depends on the conversation or the person or the situation.
Which is one of the things I love about being Black, is that the way we say something, the inflection we put on that, like one word can have like 15 different meanings, and we can pick up on what meaning it is by the way we said it.
But the white folks, they can't understand it. They get nervous. So if they get nervous, then it makes us look kind of crazy saying certain things because y'all can't say what we could say. So it's fluctuate. But like you said, we can use it how we want.
I mean, the thing for me is that being in hip hop is used so much, more often than none. Is used often. And we can say as Black people, we can say it in different ways, in different tones, and kind of just navigate how you use the word. Then at the same time, if somebody else uses it, you're offended. The thing is, words are words, right? And people are going to use them if they're being used. In a perfect world, I feel like it shouldn't be used.
But let me ask you this. We say words are words, but I don't think words are words. I think it matters from whom comes the mouth, whose mouth it comes out of, right? Because there's certain things I can say to one of my people or my friend. Like if my friend called me, it's one thing if you said to me, we know each other forever, you like, bitch, because you're a woman and I'm a woman. And I'm not saying it's the right thing. Some people might say it's wrong, but it'll be different if a man said that to me. There's familiarity. There's things that I would say that within my family, right? Like my best friend's daddy, we call him Fat Daddy. That's what we call him. But if a stranger walked up to him and called him Fat Daddy, we'd be like, who you calling fat? Wait a minute, right? Because there has to be family. There's a familiarity there. And so when black people call each other nigga, or when we use it in how hip hop started, I think it was a word of affection and to bond us. And I believe there's two things that offend white people. One, that it really was something that bonded us, not tore us apart. And two, that they feel that they should be entitled to have and do everything that anybody does, and they can't. And I don't know if we should bend to the whim of that.
I just think one of the craziest phenomenons in the world that we expect is we want white people to buy all these tickets to our concerts, you heard me? We trying to sell out. We want 10,000 people in the arena, and we want to put the word nigga in all our rap lyrics, but then we want all 10,000 people to get silent when we perform it, and we want them to all say every word, but then, I ain't gonna say that word, but then, come on, man. Like, what?
There's some that's in your circle.
I think that she's right and he's right, though, too. The only thing about this whole conversation is the fact that back then, people got killed, lynched, murdered, and for that word. So we leaving out all of that. And we found a way to make it cool. It still doesn't negate what happened back then. That word was dangerous at one time.
But that's what, Oprah had Jay-Z on, and that's what she said. She said, Jay-Z, I love you, but I'm really angry at you because you used the word nigger. And he said, well, it's a thing. We took our power back because it was used to desecrate us. And then we took it and made it something that was ours. We took it from white people and made it ours.
I understand that part too, but it still doesn't negate what happened.
Right.
It doesn't negate that. That's cool to be able to put it up front and say, okay, we made it ours though, but it don't negate the people, the Emmett Tills and everybody else that got murdered, lynched, and burnt and skinned and tarred for that word. That's all I'm saying. Like he's saying too, you're right. It shouldn't be said, even if it is sound cool. We should still have to know what happened. The people that had that word and used it, no matter how cool we making it, what happened to them?
But did they get murdered and killed and because of the word? Or did they get murdered and killed because they were black?
No, they got.
And this is a racist country.
Exactly, but all of it goes together. It's still niggas. It's still the whole thing. It goes together.
That was part of the vocabulary of the murderer.
And that was the whole thing. The fact that you couldn't, what they called us, and that is how they depicted us and how they treated us from the word. Not that they called us. That's what we was. That's how it was.
I got a fire example.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, bro. That's like if we started using blackface and saying, nah, this is a fashion statement now. We want to use this as black people. We want to start wearing blackface and we making it cool. Everybody right now is like, wait, what? That wouldn't even feel right. Exactly. That's how I feel with us saying, well, nigga is a cool thing now. You know what I mean? Blackface was used to insult us. Blackface was used to demean us and degrade us. But if we say, now we taking the power back, so we going to use blackface, we have selective outrage as black people. And that's what we got to check.
Well, let me ask you this, though. When it was created, back, because hip-hop has changed a lot, right? From how it created. When it was created, was the word nigga. Well, do you think those people even thought they were doing something for the white population? I don't think that it was thought back in the early days that it was going to take off. Where I'm now going to concerts, taking my sons to concerts, and 85% of the crowd is white. So was that even thought about? Like, when we, did you think people thought that way?
No, not at all.
I think that again, back then from Red Fox, Richard Pryor and them, because before rap it was them. Comedians was using the word nigga.
Oh, that's
like
true.
crazy.
That is so true. Yes.
So it came.
Richard Pryor was definitely using.
But it came. That was still in the 70s. It came, and then hip hop started. Of course, it evolved. Once it started getting cool from them, eventually it got to us in the 80s. It got to us from them, though.
But do you think it was used as a term to desecrate each other?
I don't know where it came from. I don't think what it was for. I think it was just something to say that sounded Such out
If you- if-
ill in
Sounded
the
ill.
mic.
Sounded
For
You
me,
know?
I feel like when you
Kinda
think
ill.
of it in a comedian standpoint, it wasn't used as a term of endearment. It was not. It was always like, yeah, you know that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and it was always real strong.
Real
You know
strong.
what I'm
I don't know.
saying?
Richard
Very
Pryor to me
strong.
used to use it in all kind of.
He did, but
you
he
know,
also used it in that way too to
Yes.
describe what they was calling us and how they was depicting us. He used it a lot in that term, and then he started saying, okay, in a way too. But you see why he stopped using it too. He felt what he's saying and what she's saying.
At the end of the
That
day,
is-
you cannot control something that you're
you know?
using. I get when you say, oh yeah, we may have taken our power back. But
Yep.
you cannot take your power back when other people can still say it too, and you're trying to control them to say it. You know what I mean? You cannot say, we're taking our power back, but you can't say it.
Yeah, it's
And,
hard.
and guess what? When you say you're taking your power back, you ain't getting no power back. You still broke. You still getting discriminated
Daisy
against.
said he ain't broke. No,
You still can't
that's
get a
one
job.
person.
The police will still shoot you. You heard
and
me?
they still calling you that.
Come on, and they still gonna call you a nigga.
And they still
But I think they would call us a nigga no matter what we did, in my opinion. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this: is there a difference between the nigga with the A and the ER? Because really, people
No.
try to differentiate
No.
with that.
No.
But I think we do need to discuss: is there a difference between that?
No.
No.
We all on the same page.
No.
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 No. Okay, so
And
it's
when
the
people
same.
say that, I'm so confused. Like, no, it's not. No, you're just being lazy.
A lot of
You
people,
know?
a lot of
No.
people are saying ninja now. Like if people, this comment that you're saying right now is people are really looking at themselves and saying in a way they want to try to get rid of the word.
Yeah.
They're trying to right now because they're realizing when they get more history and they hear more facts and they see more situations, they like, yo, this is not right a little bit, you know? No matter how cool it is. I even tried to. A lot of people too are saying ninja. They trying to get it out of there because again, it's like, yo, because they still calling us it. They still doing the disrespect. So they're using this word to still disrespect us. And we still rocking with it.
But
So we truly haven't-
on some effects, on the radio, they trying to just keep their songs playing, right? It's like this. Instead of saying nigger, you saying ninja. Just to keep it playing on the radio, to still go, just to keep it smooth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's also a fact that's happening. Because they not just trying to change the narrative of the word, but just trying to keep it radio play.
So I mean, it seems like some of you think that there's a big power in this world. Do you think that if this were another race, so if it were like a word like spick or chink or something, that record labels would even allow them to use the word on their records? Like,
Hell
do you
no.
feel?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, like, what you mean now? Now speak
No.
on that. So, I mean, like, what I'm saying is, because it sounded like to me you were suggesting that it was us trying to tear down us, but has there been some, some manipulation on the part of the majority culture?
No, black murder and black hatred is normalized in the music industry. It's so normalized. I'm from New Orleans. You turn on Q93, that's our urban radio station, and it's so normal to turn on Q93 and hear black artists rapping about hateful topics directed at other black people.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Let me say this to you. I've talked to several people, and what they've said to me, is that trying to get a record deal at a place, if you don't have some murder or some bitches or something in there, it is very difficult.
But they lying.
So they go that way. Well, let me say this to you. I know, like with my platform, I'll be talking about, and I'm using my big words. I'm like using the degrees and stuff I have, right? And I will get shut down all the time on the social platforms. If I go on there and I'm twerking tonight at Air with y'all, because, I'm twerking and I'm having a good time, half my booty hanging out and I'm drunk, I promise you that would not get shut down. No. I promise you. And so what I do think that sometimes we need to think is like, is this just us within us? Are we encouraged to act a fool? Would Real Housewives be a hit if they weren't acting crazy? Would rap artists be hot if they weren't talking about, drugs and drinking and bitches and niggas? Please answer that question.
About the system.
Yes.
This is not something that's just happened. This is already programmed to go this way. I'm gonna keep this black person as most ignorant as possible. record business is music is second language. There's talking, then there's music. There's not talking in basketball, talking in football, talking in acting. There's talking in music. It's like I said, for a program director, puts the record on the radio for it to be programmed into you. The labels are not going to sign you. Remember rap? They didn't like hip hop.
Right.
At first.
Right.
Because it was conscious.
Yes. See, that's where I'm from. I'm from the X-Clan era and stuff like that. Okay.
From our era.
Yes.
Right.
But they said, okay, we're not going to play this, but we're going to play the most ratchet shit. So we're going to play NWA and play everything else that's negative
Yes.
for it to be instilled in us to keep us where we at now. So you're right. Whatever's going to be depicting us with drugs, sex, money, whatever, one topic, yes, we want that to be playing. Don't forget, Lil Johnny doesn't live this life.
Right.
So all he does is, for him, is entertainment.
Yeah.
We live it. We hear it and then we go do it. They're not from the ghetto. They don't got money problems. They don't got that. When I get $20, either I'm gonna get a haircut, some food, or get some music. Which one I'm doing? I'm gonna dub that music tape. I'm gonna go out there and get me a haircut or get a shirt or get me some food. They can do all three of them.
Yeah.
So this right here is what we living in at this point. This is all programmed the way to fill the jails up. We're gonna do it through hip hop. Hip hop fill the jails up. I'm gonna be able to listen to this music, and they're gonna go out there and commit this crime, and we're gonna be able. That's why they built the jails, and the jails are packed because of music. People can say before, "Oh, rap music ain't do this." Yeah, that's a lie. You want to think that because you don't want that depiction on hip hop music, but yeah, damn right we did this. Music is influential.
Yeah.
No matter what, we did all of this damage came through that, and they knew it was.
And they knew it. So that's
They
you
knew
feel
it.
that is part of the system.
It's always everybody knows this.
And it's funny because you talk about like what we come from. You know, I had a good girlfriend. Her son went to Howard University. When I tell you that he came from the black family, like this is the Cosby Show kind of stuff, right? And he got kicked out because he was selling drugs. Not because he needed the money, but the hip hop culture had made him feel as if he was. You know, and now he was legit.
He wasn't really black.
Real. Exactly. He was real at that point.
Yeah.
And so I hear really what you say. And so I don't know if that's tied to the niggas thing, but I think it very well may be. But I do believe that we have to look at, we try to give ourselves so much responsibility within the black community and say, oh, if we just did this differently. Because when I hear you say, and I really heard what you said in the beginning about if we would stop using it how things would change. I don't know if I'm a cynic because I don't know how much would change.
Yeah, I don't think it would change neither.
If we stopped using it, then when we got, that's like...
They're not going to stop using it because we stop using it. They might stop using it at concerts, but they're not going to stop. They haven't stopped using it since the beginning.
Here's the thing though.
In my opinion.
Here's the thing. How many of y'all have ever heard a white person say nigga and they didn't mean it as an insult? They was just like, no, I'm just saying it because I grew up in the hood too, and that's just what we say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
If we
I've
stop
heard that,
using it,
but I've been called nigger.
I've never been called a nigga by a white person.
Nigger by a white person.
Yeah.
Now Thomas got his ass beat on the playground in Williamsburg, Virginia, but I got called nigger, right? And I have heard people use the word nigger. I remember say something. I remember his name, okay? And I have heard people try to use the word nigga around me in a soft way. They think it's soft. I think that white people use it very liberally and they wouldn't be fight. This is what I think we need to realize. The fact that they are so passionate and adamant to use it, it's to me a sickness. Like if somebody said to me, in the Jewish faith, this is what we do. We call each other within our group, within our culture. I'm not gonna be like, well, why can't I say that too? I want to call that. I want to say that too. The fact that there's so much
Entitlement.
That's where.
We know.
All right. This might be an unpopular question, but
Rock with it.
How about we stop letting that word hurt us?
But I think that's what Jay-Z and them's points was, is that if we take control of it, it wouldn't hurt us.
No, but see.
If I heard some white kids singing a song and they said nigga, it wouldn't hurt me. Right. But I have said, but my son was called nigga. with the hard ER.
Yeah, my son
when he
was
was in
called nigga,
school,
too.
he was called Yates. And in all white
why
school.
does that have to hurt us? Like
Because-
they're clearly trying, but I'm saying if we have the emotional intelligence to say, I get what you're trying to do, but you're just regurgitating something that you heard an older racist white person say, and you trying to get to me right now. But
I understand that. That's you right. He
yeah,
got some
like-
good points, this guy.
yeah, really good point. But I'm gonna say this. You know, like my son was in 3rd grade. He's 22 right now, working at where the hell is he working? Some big firm in New York. He's doing well, Bloomberg. But to this day, it can make me cry thinking about it because he was in 3rd grade. He got a mohawk in his hair. He went to almost all-white school. His daddy and I had busted our asses to, we thought, give the American dream, put our kids in the best school, the best neighbors, and all that. And he got this mohawk, and this white kid said to him, niggers don't wear mohawks. You look stupid. And he said, and niggers are stupid anyway. And he said niggers like 1,000 times. And the only reason I heard about it is because some people did report it. And what that boy was trying to do was not trying to be cool. It wasn't something that he tried to say he heard it in a rap song. I said, no, they don't even talk like that in rap songs. He was trying to take my son all the way down and make him little. And it broke my heart. Like, I literally was in bed for 2 weeks because here we are trying to give him the best, and he is broken to so little. It does have power. That word has power. And when he asked me, he's like, what does it mean? And he didn't even know what it meant, but he knew it was bad. And he knew at that point how different he was. And he certainly didn't have the intelligence to say, I ain't gonna let this bother me.
At the time.
Right? At the time. This man, I see the word nigger as an attack. I see it as, for me, I get images of lynchings when I see the word, when I hear that word nigger. And so it does have a power because words do have power and it connects us to history. It connects us to things. So like I said, when I hear nigger from a white person, because like I said, who's delivering something to you matters, I see lynching. I see my people hanging from trees. That's what I see.
Well, look.
And that will never go away.
But this is my thing. I ain't never saw one of my people hanging from a tree, but I seen a lot of my people dead in the streets because another black person killed them.
Right.
So when I think about what I'm really afraid of on a daily basis, I'm more afraid of our people who hate one another than, oh man, that white person might have my partner or have me hanging from a tree. You know, that's just that's
but
a
also you
millennial
understand
issue.
that's what's been fed to you, right? Because you do understand that murder is a crime of proximity, and so black on black crime is a myth. Like black on black is the same as white on white, is the same as Asian on Asian, is the same as Latino on Latino, because we kill people we know. Typically, this is why we trip all the way out. We trip the fuck out if someone comes into a grocery store and just starts killing, which is usually not us doing that. Let me make that point. Black on black crime was created to make us hate ourselves and think that we're different. But black people, percentage-wise, kill each other only slightly more than white people kill each other, than Latino people kill each other. So yes, we should worry. And proximity, because most people, you're gonna kill someone you like. Me and you piss me off tonight, I'm gonna kill you, right? I'm not hanging, I'm not gonna kill you, we good, right? But what I'm saying is, it's a crime of proximity, but we, listening to the media, are like, well, what the fuck is wrong with us? We're killing each other, we're calling each other's names, and sometimes I feel as if we're so much looking at ourselves through a white gaze and not through what do we think. Like when you talked about nigger and when we talked about that, is it that we think it's bad, or is that we think it's bad because white people have made us think it's bad because they want to use it so much? And like, when do we become the star in our movie, in our show, and not allow white people opinion to be the star in our show? I don't know. I'm raging right now, but go ahead.
I mean, no, actually, your point was flawless, and it made me think. So I want to say that. It did make me think. And again, for me being in a hip-hop space, I was raised not to say nigger in my house, period. My mom, my dad, and now, because I'm in a hip-hop space and I'm around so much of that, it does come out my mouth. And I remember when I started saying that a little bit more often than I really should have. Like, you know, and it would just come out, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm around a lot of men, black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a thing, right? But you do see it it does feel different. I will say that. When they're speaking to each other and we're talking about hip hop, we're talking about music, we're talking about the best of all time, we're talking about the greatest of all time, we're breaking records, we're talking about success. It does feel different. And that's a mindset thing. That's when you talk about when you change your mindset, right? If we're talking about changing your mindset, that's a different story, right? If we're talking about overall, though, and we're thinking about another race, other people saying it, then it becomes derogatory.
Right.
So it's really about different spaces and how you want to think about it.
Like all words are, though.
Yeah.
Like all words are. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It just got intricate.
Well,
Yeah, makes you think.
hip hop. That's one thing that everybody has in common that's sitting here is our involvement in the hip hop industry. So
I just listened to it, but
yeah. So my journey into hip hop was unique. I graduated. I'm from the Ninth Ward of New Orleans. You know what I mean? But I went to college. I graduated. After I graduated, I became a middle school teacher. Right. After being a middle school teacher for 2 years, I became a hip hop artist because I saw how much hip hop music was impacting my middle school students. And so when I got into the game, I never considered myself just a rapper. I always tell people I'm a proud college graduate. I'm an edutainer. You know what I mean? I'm in this game to educate. Thankfully, by the grace of God, because of me being successful for a long time, I got hundreds of thousands of fans and followers, and hip hop has created. Thank you. Hip hop has created generational wealth for me and my family and taken me all over the world at this point. I'm teaching currently at Harvard University on hip hop. Like, I've seen hip hop open these doors for me. And one thing I speak about is the need for artists to know their purpose for why they're in the game. Because if you're just walking into the building like, hey, I just want to be successful by any means, we have a racist system that's waiting to take advantage of you and say, I know how to make you successful. I want you to rap about killing your people, disrespecting your women, so you got to know your purpose.
Yes.
Then as a consumer, you have to be what I like to call a consumer activist. Meaning, you're not just going to take whatever is being fed to you. You're going to say, I know that the power of my dollar and what I choose, if I choose to support Eric Sermon or D1 or anybody, the Lost Boys, I understand that wherever I put this dollar in the form of concert tickets, merch that I buy, streams, this is important. And as consumers, you can't just say, well, all the radio doing is playing this type of music. Nowadays, you have more autonomy than ever to select what you want to hear. Ain't nobody listening to the radio no more.
No.
You heard me? People are getting on YouTube and streaming platforms and able to curate their own playlist that they want to make for themselves. So the real question is, do people want something different?
All that what you just said was got to be replayed for everybody. Because what you just said is everything. In one paragraph, you said everything.
Dang.
Everything. That's what it's about. All of it.
And I really like how you said the responsibility is not just on the artist, but it's also on the consumers about what we're willing to accept. So we need to have some boundaries. Like, we ain't buying that BS if it degrades my people.
Our power is real. Like, I know before it was like, we were talking about us. Our power is real. The power of the black dollar is real.
Dude, yes,
it's so
powerful.
real because we are one of the biggest consumers.
Yes, we are.
So I love what you said.
No, it's phenomenal.
I love what you said. It was phenomenal. Because if he's right, if everyone if we as a race did stop using the word nigger, there will be change. I don't care if there's powers that be, because we are very powerful. We are influenced in music. We are influenced in the dollar. We are influenced as a race.
Right.
So if we did collectively, D1, we will promote change and people would stop using it. I really believe that.
And let me ask you this, would it be a problem for us to use it if we were it was us and not putting music out there, not for the masses, but if I'm just sitting around with y'all, how we chilling right now, if I was like, nigga, you tripping, is that cool?
It's not a problem. The fact that we're just trying not to use it.
If
we don't have to.
Right.
It ain't a problem. We don't have to. We just try to say consciously, eventually do we get out of our Rolodex somehow?
Right.
And have the ninja word going in the whole word. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what
I like brother. I like brother. I love when people call it, you know, it's brother and sister is good.
So like I said before, ain't nothing wrong with it, but again, if we could get it out, it'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? But your thing you said, man, oh man, you blew me back. I thought I was intelligent.
So beautiful, like seriously, a beautiful point. And we all seem to be vibing with that. But this is what I want to ask you. Like, how do we get there? How do we raise our consciousness? Because this would have to be a movement. If we all had to get on board and say, you know what, we done with it. And we do that as a culture. There are things that we say, we ain't rocking with that anymore. Right? How does that happen? How does this change happen? How does this consciousness, elevate where we want to do different?
It starts like with this show that we're doing.
And we create change.
and hopefully it gets around, because one thing about us as a people, the programming from the Willie Lynch program is still working. So our minds is still not able to listen to truth and then take it. Right in our faces, like that. What he said, it'd be right there. He gave it to us. What to do, to be conscious of what you're saying, how you're saying, to be conscious of what you're buying, be conscious of the black dollar, because you said too, support, the black businesses. We went to the black restaurant. People got to spend their money with the blacks though too. You find out, go in there and see where the black stores at, whatever, and then be conscious of that. Because we do got the power to make changes, so they can look at us and be like, you know what, damn, this is changing now. Because we're not making money like we used to. They always say, like you said, like people saying, go back to Africa. They don't want us to go back to Africa, because if we go back, the world's the economy doesn't work. It collapses.
Right. Absolutely. So, they've seen that in Florida
So at that point, we have to do what he says. Consciously, we have to make a conscious decision to do certain things on that level. That means look and see what we're doing and make sure we're doing the right thing. As far as, again, with the music and like I said before, I'm not hating on none of this stuff that's out in the game, but everything that we're seeing is the leotard. It's the same thing. Like these girls, it's not even about talent. It's like, we on national TV, shaking ass.
Yep.
Came to
celebrating it, calling it culture's biggest night.
The culture's biggest night.
Oh, at the end of this, all y'all gonna shake some ass, because I'm just kidding.
We're trying to get our ratings.
We gotta get the ratings up.
And again, too, and they make us think that this is the only way.
Yes.
When that's not true. Go back to the 90s women. Go look at them.
You won't get none of that.
Go look at them. They're beautiful.
You looking at one
look at the television. Look at the way they were. They had clothes on. Some of them had on skimpy. It might be a skimpy top, but the pants is covered.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like they only had a couple of things. Maybe a shoe out, maybe a toe out, whatever. That's how far they went. And they was flawless. So why do we got to be like this? And women, y'all support it like it's cool. That's y'all that they doing, and y'all is like, yeah, go on, girl. Like, I can't be, because again, I'll be like, yo, the old head hating, but I don't got no money problems. I'm nowhere near broke, but I'm still gonna be like a person who's mad. Like, oh, he mad because he ain't. That's how we look.
Right. Well, everybody says you're jealous if you have a problem with something.
Or you mad because you ain't as big as me. Oh yeah, I saw D1 talking, but he was
right.
Nah, man, we want you just to wake up a little bit,
right?
And just see, like, look how far down we got.
Fact.
Look how far low we are. Look at how far they got us looking. Period.
It's so funny, because a lot of the education I try to do, we talk about educating people, is trying to show people, y'all know we being played, right? Like, we being played. Like, this is part of a master plan to make us think that what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah. See, but go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, it's just, they're not learning. They don't know themselves. And that's one thing you must study, yourself. But when you don't know yourself, then you stoop to those levels. Anybody can influence you.
Well, anybody can tell you who you are.
Right.
If you don't know who you are, anybody can tell you who you are.
And if that's
and you believe them,
then you're going to fall victim to society's or white man or whoever.
But that goes back to parenting, because I can't have somebody teach my child except me.
Right.
My mother, God bless her dead, that the last generation that was a little bit scolding. And then we came. And then social media came. And then we put a phone in my kid's hand, and an iPad, and the computer.
Early.
And the house was quiet. We didn't have to look at them and do all that. But that raised them.
So who was teaching your children? Who was teaching us who we are? It's not us. It's not us.
Definitely not.
Which is why CRT, when they talk about critical race theory and teaching people real history, is like, to me, been banned. Because who we'd be if we knew who we were.
Right.
So when you say we know we're being played, I agree. A lot of us know that we are being played, but we're stuck in a mental state of what's called cognitive dissonance. That's where you know you're being played, and you know deep down in your gut there's something ain't right, but it's so appealing that you keep going with it, although you know this ain't healthy for me, this ain't beneficial, and it's cognitive dissonance to where you block it out. So I did a song about this, right? The song is called People Don't Want That Real. Check it out.
Give me.
I said, people don't want that real, they just say that they do. Now people don't want that real, and I'm one of them too. I'm so easily entertained by ratchet activity, violent negative imagery always seem to interest me. I tell myself, no more music glorifying evil, selling drugs, womanizing, killing our people. Then I hear a song with a tight beat and can't deny it. The hook is catchy, so I subconsciously memorize it. Next thing you know, I'm reciting all the lyrics.
Yes.
And my day don't feel complete unless I hear it.
Wow.
Inviting darkness in my spirit. This can't be light. I'm craving what I'm supposed to be fighting. This can't be right. I must be blind to the effects. This can't be sight. Death is in the power of the tongue, and this can't be life. Be careful what you get involved with, because you can't support a cause, but then hate the effects that it causes.
And that is the topic.
That's what's good.
Hey, but what? I don't know what I need to do, like bow or snap. What do we do at this point?
Do it over.
Yeah, clap, do the snake.
Let's do the remix,
That's
bro.
tight, man.
That
Gotta
is
hear that, man.
Wendy,
Yeah.
that's the
so
topic.
That's deep.
deep. No, that is really, really
But that's what we're
deep.
saying.
That is what we're saying.
The fact that, but we had it. The 90s was it.
Yeah.
Well, like Mrs. was saying back there, who's doing the show. If we had a balance, it wouldn't be bad. Because we did have Luke, and we did have Tribe, we did have Dilla, we had, NWA, we had EPMD, we had, Scarface, we had Ghetto, but it was so much diverse people, and we all still won.
Yeah.
And we didn't sound like each other. Everybody was different, and we still won. So why do you gotta repeat it? Why do you gotta sound the same as the other individual to win when we didn't have to? And we had people saying stuff. We had content being said that was intelligent enough to give a kid a shot and a chance to choose from. And we don't got that now. We have like this, the side where it's here, and we got this down here. We got J. Cole and Kendrick and a few of them down here, but the rest is this of pure ignorance.
And let me ask you a question. So those guys that you're talking about in the 90s, like the Tribe Called Quest and things, could they get a contract today, do you think?
No, they got rid of all of us for a reason. Because once we got intelligent enough to know the game and understand what was going on, to get rid of them.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go give this young kid a 360. I'm going to give him $2 million.
Yep.
I'll make sure that he got money.
Yep.
But he got to be like this, though. He's going to say some ratchet shit.
Yep.
But we're going to make sure it wins. Listen, there's no way that I'm in love with the Coco is number one on the radio.
Man.
And no disrespect to my boy, because again, these are my peoples.
People do
but the fact like you or WAP is number one on the radio.
Come on, man. You preaching, bro.
Like, how in the hell is that possible? Unless it's planned.
Yep.
It's a system.
It got to be. So once that ignorance go, we don't give a fuck if it's number one, but that's what we pushing.
Yep.
Because that's the mindset we want you in.
Yep. I'm about to make everybody on this panel even more mad, because I'm serious. I was signed to RCA Records when that song was number one on the radio. I'm in love with the Coco. And as much as we say and we know that it is the system to a certain degree, I sat in RCA office in New York and watched the head of radio, a black woman, call around all around the country and advocate to get that song played on the radio. Call all the program directors and advocate for it. And when she hung the phone up,
We can be part of a system.
okay,
Yeah, we can be part of a
because
system.
when she called all them stations and advocated to get "I'm in Love with the Coco" played all around the country, when she hung the phone up, she looked at me and said, "D, I don't even let my kids listen to this music, but this is my job."
That's my job.
And that is it.
That's the problem.
And that is it.
Always the job.
It's the job.
It is the job.
There you go.
It's sad.
It is the person who's willing to sell out.
There you go.
Who is the lowest paying
But
Negro.
one thing about this, the fact, like, even with the artists that we're talking about, they creating art. They doing them. The label just see a bigger picture to make it bigger. We just, like, Gin and Juice was, we just rocking it. Like, again, they made it pop, though. Again, they making the bigger picture, like, they didn't really ask them to make the records. We just making what we making.
Right.
But once they hear it, that's the one.
Yep.
Because it has to fit in their idea of who we are.
Exactly.
I remember I taught this class. I was a visiting professor at this college, and I did this thing about music and culture and all the things. And so I said, let's go down to the top 10. What's the top 10 music right then? And at that time, Ed Sheeran was number one, and he had a song. I just remember there was snow in the video, and he was pining for a woman. So he was a man in love, right? And then they had Cardi B talking about, I don't fuck with that, I will kick your ass. And then they had, but to sum it all up, it just showed that to be popular as a black person, you basically had to be hard and ratchet.
Right.
And white people could show their full range of
Tank said that.
emotions.
Tank said he would have made the same record that Homeboy made, Sam
Cooke?
Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
Sam Smith. Yes, Sam
He
Smith.
would have
Okay.
made that same love record.
Not Sam Cooke, yeah.
Whatever, it would have got low spins. Because what happened was, back in the 70s and the 80s, we sung about love.
Right.
But love is
did.
dangerous in the black household.
Woo! Now you don't say nothing now. We're going to have to come back tomorrow just because of that. I'm sorry, everybody. Just because of that.
So we
That's power.
can't have us with a family with dad, mom, kids, and the whole nine. That gotta go.
Gotta kill that. We gotta kill that.
That gotta go. So then all the music that we grew up to that had love into it had to change.
Yep.
And then we had to get ignorant. That's when the sex came in and all the other stuff came in, and R&B changed too. And no more love was being spoke about. And then now it's about something else.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what, though, too? I just want to touch on what you said about Gin and Juice and just magnifying the things that they want to magnify, right? Because I was in a room and G Herbo was speaking, an artist from Chicago, and they were talking about drill music. And he was saying, yeah, it's drill music, but it's what we go through, right?
Yeah.
It is what what they went through in Chicago. Literally, the cameras looking down at them, people shooting at each other and doing all these things, right? But the masses magnified it to where everyone is now killing each other even more in other places. Now, artists are coming in hip hop, killing each other, still dealing drugs. I thought that when you come in hip hop, it's to get away from that.
Get away from it.
I thought that's your ticket out, right? Now people are coming in hip hop. Our black men, are coming in hip hop to get more money, to sell drugs,
Some more drugs.
kill each other, and go back to poverty.
But because maybe the
imagery.
system has been designed to keep us
Designed to keep
enslaved,
us
just
the
when we're
same.
thinking,
That's
keep us
it.
the same.
Exactly. And it takes me back to that. It's what is magnified, the system,
System.
right? What we decide to let the powers that be do, right? Because again, as I go back to the fact that we have power.
Right.
So it sounds like to me, what we're all saying is that we have this power, right?
Right.
And if we decide as a community that nigga, the N-word no longer serves us, that we have the power to get rid of it, is what we're thinking right now. But the conversation should continue. Because I always do feel like it's time for a conversation.
Yeah.
Although this one can't continue today.
Yeah, I didn't realize
But I
that.
appreciate,
Yeah.
I appreciate.
It's a good topic, though.
It's a good topic. We will continue the conversation. And I appreciate,
Yeah.
you don't know, I hope you feel my sincere gratitude with sharing and your truth, your journey, because your all's journeys is real authentic. Y'all are bringing the authentic in here.
Right.
And thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
see
you.
next time. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, people.
Thank you.
Thank you.